Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the New Oaks AI Podcast. I'm your host, Leland Best of Best Studios LLC, along with my special guest, as always, Ray Luan, CEO of both New Oaks AI and EasySite AI. So welcome once again, Ray. Nice to see you. It's a little delayed today because I got invited to hang out with the guys at TikTok, your former friends over there, but had to go see what was going on before the episode. So it'll be like that all month, guys, so I apologize. But all right.
Congrats, though.
I'm excited. You really are.
Yeah.
So tell me, Ray, there's a lot going on. We're going to talk about EasySite and New Oaks in a little bit. There were a couple updates to both platforms this time around, but a lot going on in the AI trends scene, and a lot of that is based on the same key individuals we work with all the time. But you want to give us a little rundown of, let's go to OpenAI first on this, Ray. It seems they announced two new models, which I just installed the ChatGPT OSS model into my Llama build on my Mac M1. So I have it in-house now. I can use it whenever I want, totally free, never have to mess around. But they also came out with GPT-5 for the public use. And what's the scoop on that so far? Not too hot.
Yeah. So I think Sam Altman released GPT-5 2 weeks ago for the public use. And the overall evaluation of GPT-5 is pretty well. But it's under, I think it's under developers' expectation. In another way that it works better on AI coding and also reasoning, but it's not what people expected to be the super intelligence model. Which means that there's no major breakthrough. I mean, it's just a better version of GPT-4o. So when GPT-5 was released, a lot of people actually has a emotion attachment to GPT-4o, and they require that they roll back 4o. So now I think you can use both GPT-4o and GPT-5 in the same interface.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. That could be something. I haven't really played around with it at all, Ray. I've just been kind of showing on the screen what the new interface looks like for GPT-5, which seems it's just they're adding more flair to like what you see, more animated type processes like you might find on an animated website, making it flow a little smoother. But I've heard a lot of complaints that GPT-5 just is underperforming from what they expected. They thought a new model would mean better performance, but they're not seeing that right now. That's right.
Yeah, I don't think they really developed a new model with breakthrough technology. They just improved the old model. I mean, the GPT-4 models a little bit. And if they use a routing, I mean, literally they route your request to different sub models.
Gotcha.
And they call it GPT-5, which is kind of like not something new anymore. It's like expert models, right? That was how they made GPT-4. Use the routing model or expert model and mix the different expert model, but they do the trick again. The old trick, it doesn't work. I mean, so I think a lot of people, I think it's mainly a marketing event for OpenAI. It's not a technology breakthrough that everybody is expecting anymore. So I think OpenAI may lose, may lose the game, may not win the game in the long run.
Do you think what we've been talking about with some of these new quantum computing type models that are coming out, are we going to see pull away from the LLM? Maybe they've reached their prime and they're kind of lacking on their ability to grow much larger or perform much better than they can already. I think maybe we've reached the pinnacle of what an LLM model might be able to do. That's the conversation that I've heard. Up, but I'm not saying it's
that's one of the that's one hypothesis, right? The large language model right now, I think, has pretty much reached its ceiling in terms of technology advancement. So I think from the breakthrough, I mean, technical breakthrough point of view, I think my view is that OpenAI should shift to other technology as soon as possible, just like the world model that we have been talking about, which means the video. So when it comes to video, I think actually Google caught up really fast recently. They
They do
released
really well with
yeah,
video. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
they released the real model, which is the early stage of the world model per se, means that they literally model the whole world, right? Use their mapping technology so that you can enter a virtual virtual reality life or of the physical world and then create anything out of that. That's pretty amazing. So I think
Yeah, it is.
that is the spatial intelligence model that Professor Feifei Li mentioned. That's the future of AGI. So it has to be
That's really cool.
very simulate our real world model with
Then you're
spatial.
talking about, are you talking about in real time development as far as video being processed by VO3 while we watch kind of thing, where we're actually
Yes.
asking for it to create a lifelike model? That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
very cool.
real
I'm
time.
looking for it.
Yeah, it's a real time rendering technology, 3D technology.
Yep.
So I didn't play with VO3, but I watched the demo. Even though it's a demo, it's already
Mhm.
good enough because you can use prompt literally, right? Um, to write any kind of virtual reality world, but looks like the real world, and you can use prompt to create any role, any physical piece inside the virtual reality 3D world model, which is amazing. We can use prompt to create anything, life, object, cars, airplanes, spatial shapes, whatever we name it. It's crazy. I think that's the future of the AGI,
Yeah.
the video model of the whole world.
Yeah, not only could you could create a video game that you can play out, you could create a movie that you want to watch and you just play it out. You could incorporate some type of learning experience in there where you're sitting in a classroom that's actually generated in real time with a teacher that's teaching stuff based on the questions the students are asking. Think about that for a minute. Usually when you go into
Yeah,
a classroom, people teach on a lesson plan and then you ask questions about the lesson plan. What if you came
yep,
into a teaching environment and all you had was a bunch of students who had questions about what the topic of discussion was, and you simply asked those questions as the means to develop the lesson plan? It's kind of the other way
yeah,
around, but I think a lot of times we ignore that most people have questions and we spew out a bunch of stuff that really doesn't answer the questions. You know what I mean? We give what we
right.
think they want, but in reality, until the end, we don't really know what they want because that's when they ask questions. And usually we leave the Q&A to the end for 5 or 10 minutes and then leave. And it's like nobody really gets all their questions answered. I think we need to look at that in a reverse fashion now that we have AI, that capability is possible. So who knows?
Yep.
All right. What else we got, Ray? Other related development, OpenAI has announced the release of GPT-5, which we mentioned in the understanding with its generation and understanding model. But I did want to touch on one thing with that, Ray. The open model is available freely to anyone. So if you want to start to use OpenAI and you weren't able to afford the $20 a month, or you didn't think you were getting much out of the first one, go check out 5 and see what, or the OSS model, I'm sorry, and maybe talk to someone who can help you install it on a unit in your house. And that way, a Docker container or something like that, so that you can just run it on your own whenever you want, no cost.
Yeah,
So
they
just
open source it. Right? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's a total open source. So let me just give a recap on the fact that OpenAI's GPT-5 is struggling to deliver as expected. The VO3 is seen as a promising early shape to the world modeling technology that Ray just spoke of. And AI trends seem to highlight the importance of responsible AI development and employment, because you know how that goes. It seems somebody's always screwing up something somewhere.
Yep.
It was OpenAI again. So what do you think, Ray? Who do you think's on top right now? Who do you see as the
I
leader?
think cloud in large language model cloud is on top, and Google is catching up really fast. And Grok AI from Elon Musk probably rank the number 3. I
Now, would
think
you use Grok in business? I don't mean to interrupt that, but when you mentioned Grok, I was kind of surprised because I look at that as like a very one-off personal, like if you want to get crazy with AI, go talk to
yeah,
someone.
yeah, yeah, has crazy personality, but not in the business. But I see the
Okay.
potential there. Yeah, because I think Elon's strategy is to make it be used for consumer first, and then create the
True.
IP and the branding through the consumer world, and then it's probably will propagate it to the business world. Because Elon Musk recently signed a huge, mega contract with Samsung for
Mhm.
their GPUs. I think it's like
Gotcha.
more than billions of dollars just to invest on their GPUs. So that's the potential, right? I think that the real constraint of AI technologies is not on the software
Mhm.
versus it's constrained by the hardware, which means the production of the Taiwan, the TMSC,
Oh yeah,
Taiwan
yeah.
Semiconductor
Sure.
Company, right? If their production capability is really constrained of current AI, it probably will need more and more computing power because we're shifting from language model, which is a text
Mhm.
based intelligent, AI model to video models. So think about it. We'll probably will need more and more computing GPUs and clusters. So I think whoever can win in the long run must be able to support in terms of infrastructure building and
Yeah.
also the attraction to top talents.
Yep.
So I think Google's talent, the density of their talent team is still the largest. I mean, even bigger than cloud and in other teams, right? Other companies. So
Yeah.
in long run,
Well,
I would say, yeah,
Claude being focused on coding, though, I think is the perfect way for them to go because they've niched down in just the right area when it comes to what AI is best at. So I think they're always going to lead that race when it comes to its most practical use,
yeah,
because that's really where it's used the most is in coding and application development, because of its speed. It's just it blows away a simple engineer's ability to sit down and write static code for an application. It can now be done dynamically in a sense,
yeah,
because I've watched my buddy do it and connect his GitHub account to his AWS account and everything else, and he's just got Claude handling everything. It's just doing it all for him while he sits there and tells it what to do. And it's
yeah,
crazy to watch that process unfold. It's really wild. So let's
yeah.
get to
So
the other
cloud,
good. Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, I just echo what you said. Cloud code is really one of the best coding tools nowadays. The only benefit, the only drawback is that cloud coding is using command lines. So the general non-coding people cannot actually use it well as the developers.
Mhm.
So just yeah,
We're working on
don't
things
mention.
like that too, because we came up with a CLI that is a intermittent feed between automation systems and things like AWS, where we're starting to build one button installs for people to build these things in house and stuff, or even just put
Yeah,
it up on AWS. And in doing
yeah,
that, we found that there is a place that could be filled by a lot of different people if they really just focus on a particular point of contact within the structure of AI and automation. There's so
yeah.
many new avenues that have been created for people to work in. It's kind of crazy. It's not just engineers out there anymore. There's all kinds of other people using this stuff. Let's get on to the sites though, Ray. We've got EasySite AI's updates, but I wanted to just touch on the easy one right now, and that's New Oaks. You just had a simple update over there, and that was for the multi-language, correct?
Yes, we recently add two different languages.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Arabic and Chinese.
Arabic and
We're going to add
Chinese. Yeah.
yeah, we're going to add French, Italian. Yeah, we're going to make new multilingual so
Awesome.
that yeah, people from different countries can access it.
And for those that don't know what New Oaks AI is, if you want a chatbot that runs your e-commerce or your real estate lead generation, any kind of lead generation, really, head over to newoaks.ai and you can add a chatbot to your website in under 2 minutes. Just paste the URL of your website into the little box at the bottom, start the demo, and see what happens. All
Yeah,
right, Ray, EasySite. One of my favorites, and I continue to use this. We're looking for ways that we're going to also use this to develop some new apps in the near future that, we'll both host with you and possibly use some of the code in other places as well. But we're really excited about what you've been doing over here, Ray. So tell us a little bit about some of the updates that are going on over at EasySite.
Yeah, so the first update we had recently is the visual edits, because a lot of people, after they create or clone website with URL or Figma, the very next thing they want to do is to edit and customize the website to their own style. So, but AI prompted edit will cost a lot of tokens. So we developed and recently we improved the visual edit mode, which allows you manually to change the visual elements, all the visual elements on the website. So now we covered almost 95% of everything you can see on the web page. Just modify and edit manually. So I think this is pretty more and more practical. That's
you can edit right on the screen now rather than within an editor, right? You were popping up an editor window before. Yes, this is nice, Race. So you just flip to the AI editing capability. You pop in here and you can change whatever text you want. That's really.
You can also,
before it was a window that would come up over here on the side.
Right.
Make edits and then save it and take it back.
Yeah,
I like it.
And also you can previously you cannot change the images or icons. So now you can even upload images and icons when it comes to edit mode. So we are planning to add drag and drop features so that you can move the elements around to make it more like a canvas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that will make it more even much more powerful. Yeah. So that is the number one wanted feature. And secondly, we recently add agent mode to EasySite. So then the reason we call it agent mode is because previously we use like one agent, right? So when you create a big prompt and we use the agent just to build whatever you ask the AI to build or to create. But the problem was that if your prompt is too complicated and has like 5 to 7 or even over 10 tasks, and the AI model tends to have more context and was limited by the context window, the length of context window, then give you build errors. So with the latest agent mode, we use a multi-agent methodology just to pan the prompt and break the prompt into smaller pieces and then execute it one by one. So this way we reduce the build errors by 95%. So you will experience much less errors, and even though your prompt is big and complex, it will able to execute it in a couple minutes. And also the UI has been improved dramatically so the benefit of agent mode is that it can handle much more complex tasks. And there also
the agent's mostly behind the scenes though, right? This isn't something that we have to do anything with. You've just created a framework. It's a framework that's allowing it to read your process and code whatever you're choosing as a prompt, and it's more or less breaking it down into segments of work that it's going to perform in smaller tasks rather than trying to perform it all at once, basically.
Exactly. So I can give another real world use case. So for our clone feature, right? For example, if you enter a piece of URL, previously we just scrape all the different sub pages and for you to pick about 5 pages to copy. And now when it copy the pages, it will use the multi-agent to clone each sub pages one by one. So that way, the end performance or the result of the cloned page will be much better versus previously we just use a big agent to handle all of the cloning or building features. So it's more of a detail-oriented building mode for AI to either clone your website or building your own tools. So it's a major breakthrough. But the only cost is that it may cost you more tokens because it's doing more work, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Previously, you hired one agent to do work for you, but now you hire multiple agents. You hire a team of agent developers, right, to develop
But
your
now you
code.
don't have
So
a choice though, right? Because let me just, I just want to kind of iterate one thing there is there was a time we mentioned that we were cutting the cost of tokens substantially.
yeah,
And now
yeah.
it's kind of, if not necessarily bringing it back up to the scope of where it was, but is it close? I mean, is it about the same as what it might have been before as a token cost prior to some of the improvements?
Yeah, well, good question. In some use cases, it may use less tokens because
Okay.
it optimizes the code,
Yeah,
right? Not only it hired more agents, but it also, in the meantime, it optimized the code and reduce the duplicate codes and the requests that the code that may not be needed. So in some cases, the tokens will be reduced. But again, if you have a big complex prompt you wrote upfront, and you're expecting to execute it and finish in one shot. So I would say the agent mode is more user friendly to advanced users. And the good thing is that we set up a cap for a number of tokens that you can consume. So for every single prompt, it cannot exceed 1 million tokens.
Okay.
So just prevent it to be abused by AI, right?
Yeah, because I've had some builds hit for just some quick edits hit 400K to build a pretty, I mean, it was an intense website. It wasn't something that was just your simple run-of-the-mill landing page. It had a lot of back-end processes and stuff to it with a database. And I expected it to get up there. And now I'm going to run through that because I'm going to be popping some more stuff in here very soon. We've got a couple of good ideas on our table right now. So it does look great, Ray. I love the interface. You've done a lot to fix it up. And a lot of people may not know, if you simply scroll down further into the website interface, you're going to find templates that you can use to create your own projects. And then you can use the AI to modify all the core elements of the project so it looks nothing like it was when you started, but it gives you a good starting point to get your thing going. And don't forget, there's also an affiliate program. If you ever want to push this out to some of your friends and earn a little income in the process as an EasySite affiliate, you can always get with Ray's team on the back, sign up for his affiliate program and help get this out to the masses. So everybody's out there vibe coding and doing their thing. So looking forward to that. Anything else, Ray? I don't see a whole lot here on the list, but there is some multilingual support coming to EasySite as well. Same multilingual fashion that you're going to have on New Oaks, I suspect, as you go.
Yes, we supported over 7 languages already on EasySite. So
very cool. And don't forget, everyone, there are 2 Facebook groups out there, so that if you need any community support, simply head over to Facebook over to @NewOaksAI or @EasySiteAI, where the communities are live and thriving in a lot of cases with people building out other things. Are you still going live with Hilton on Thursdays, Ray?
No, not anymore. So I'm still evaluating my schedule. So we probably will open more webinars later per request from our customers, but not yet.
Yeah, and I just want to mention the schedule for the next month is going to change slightly. The live feedback that we get isn't really there. Okay, we play these normally live on YouTube at 9 p.m. at night Eastern, but there isn't much participation. This following month, it's going to be 9:30 like we did tonight, because I'm working with some folks on another event process that's going through the normal time frame that I can't avoid. So Ray and I are going to get together 9:30 every other week now. So we're not going to be live next Tuesday, but we'll be live the Tuesday following that. So that will be 2 weeks from today. Just keep that in mind and we'll make the notifications available. All right, Ray, anything else to close on? Any new stuff coming down the pike later, or what do you have as another project you might be working on? Anything else on your plate right now?
Well, no, we keep working. I'm keep working to improve both New Oaks AI and the EasySite AI, just make them to more user friendly and easy to use.
Absolutely.
So,
all right. Well, glad to hear it. I'm seeing all the new updates come through here, and as always, these platforms are operating immaculately. If you've not tried either of the platforms, go check them out. There's a free sample of each. The EasySite, you get a little bit of time. Can you get in there for free, Ray, at all? have some token process for people? They have to buy something at EasySite, right?
Right. I think now the process that you have to bind your card. Yeah, you have to withhold your card first, and
So you
before
buy the core and then you start buying tokens at about 5 million per $10. So it's really inexpensive process, and you can go as big as you want with add-ons for extra tokens and file storage and mobile apps if you prefer as well. So Ray's giving you all the opportunity to make money out here off of these softwares that he's built. So you can make your money back in a matter of a month or so if you really put your heart and soul into it. All right, Ray, I'll let you go. Thanks for being here as always, like you do, to come out here and share your thoughts and your insights with the community. And we will see you in 2 weeks. So take care.
See you in 2 weeks, Eden. Take care. Bye-bye.